there's something called normalized dysfunction. That is the culprit of some of the undesirable characteristics that we have that we might not even notice. We fail to notice that we fail to notice, so nothing can be done about it. This is simply the process of taking the old you and becoming the new you, blossoming into the woman that God meant for you to be. If you're new here, my name is Maya, and on this channel we talk about self-improvement, how to become better women, and reinventing our lives, because we cannot pour from an empty cup. Plus we do some cute little vloggy vlogs for the vibes. Make sure you guys subscribe for more, and let's get into it.
It's not that I don't want you here.
So first of all, if you're on your journey and you're just starting off, let's talk about what personal reinvention actually is. The way I look at it is that we are identifying and transforming undesirable characteristics into desirable ones. Essentially, you are trying to become the best version of you. While yes, the outer appearance matters, that's more of a rebranding thing, which we will have a video on that. But reinvention is more about focusing on the inside. So we're thinking like independent woman mindset to soft life princess mindset. Transforming from living in your masculine energy to your feminine energy. Moving from being a pushover to being more confident and assertive. So these are the vibes that we're going for when we're talking about reinvention. The thing is, you cannot just change overnight, sis. I'm sorry, but you can't. I feel like as women, we really need a plan and a journey to dive deep into our issues to truly change them for good. So today I'm gonna give you guys 5 steps meant to be done in order for your reinvention journey, whether you're starting out, whether you deep in it. I just see so many videos, it's just pretty much saying, hey sis, do this, is that, and the other, but not really showing you how. Each of these steps will also have an action step, so go ahead and pull out your cute little aesthetic notebook so that we can actually put some words down on paper and make some real change. The first step is figure out your why. We need to figure out, why does this change matter to us? Why do we want to reinvent ourselves? You really need to know this in order to stick to the plan. Typically, when you have a destination, there's gotta be a reason for you to stay on the course and get there, especially if it's a long, hard, and tired, and musty journey, okay? Ain't nobody trying to do all of that. And you're gonna fail if you do not have a plan and know your why. So I would ask yourself, how is not changing negatively affecting my life? How are my relationships affected by my lack of change? For me personally, I am still going through my reinvention journey. There's still some things God is working on me with that your girl thought she learned and I didn't, okay? So you're not alone. But once I did some deep diving into Maya, who I am, how I come to be who I am, what characteristics that I had that I needed to change, then I had a blueprint to move forward. Maya had no boundaries, none, okay? Said I had standards and boundaries, but somehow in my life, I did not enforce them. That was a big problem for me, and had me in situations that I did not truly want to be in because I compromised myself from the beginning. Seeing my mother do absolutely everything, and then that being transferred onto my life, being a single mom, doing it all. If a man's asking me, can he help? I'm like, no, I'm good, I got it. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I'm used to doing it my way. These are things for me that I wanted to change. So figure out your why. For your action step, make sure that you grab some paper. Make 3 different columns on that paper. For your first column, make a list of things you want to change about yourself. This is on the left side. Maybe break them up by a few lines because you're gonna have some writing to do in the other columns. These are just basic characteristics. We ain't getting deep, just things that you wanna change. Then in the middle column, we're gonna put reasons why you want to change them. Like I said, how is this negatively affecting your life and your relationships? How is you staying the same going to negatively affect your future? That's your middle column. Leave that last column blank for the future tip that's coming up. Just, you know, hold off on it. Number 2, imagine your dream girl or your destination. Like I said in tip 1, we gotta make a plan and know the reason. However, we also need a destination, and we need it to be clear. Okay, it don't need to be cloudy. We don't need to not know the goal or know the target. We need a target. You're never gonna get in your car to drive cross country without knowing exactly where you're going, because now you're just wasting gas and flying in the wind, and child, who knows what's gonna happen to you. And that ain't what we want. So for me, it was important to imagine this amazing woman and all that she is, the new me, the best version of myself. Looks are fine. Looks are totally fine. And they're needed, okay? We're gonna get into that in the rebranding video and other videos. However, for this is more of an answer to who are you or who would you be at your very best? So for this action step, I want you guys to make a vision board or make a list, you know, if you're not that ambitious. Make a list of the characteristics of the woman that you want to be. You can list down absolutely the fun stuff. What does she look like? Her branding, her aesthetic, the vibes. But also, what are her boundaries? What are her standards? What are her values? What does she do on a daily basis? What do her routines look like? What are her habits? What are her non-negotiables? How does she treat her family, her friendships, her man? How does she spend her time? What are her priorities? All of these things. List this down in either a list or a vision board. I will leave that up to you, sis, but this is how you come up with your destination. Let me tell you, baby, organizing these thoughts when we're trying to get ourselves together and change our lives are imperative. This is called intentionality. And intentionality is so important that it will make or it will break your reinvention journey. Trust me, I know. Third tip, dig into your whys to fuel your destination. So remember them whys we came up with in our first step. I challenge you guys, and I've done this for myself. Anything I'm throwing at y'all, this is a personal journey for me that I've already been on or that I am still going on. Because like I said, God's still working on me. It's a journey, sis, and it low-key don't ever end. However, I challenge you to dive deep into your whys to figure out how you became this person in the first place. And let me tell you why that's important. Once we know the root of something, we can properly address it. Typically, for a lot of us, there's something called normalized dysfunction. And that is what keeps us down and is the culprit of some of the undesirable characteristics that we have that we might not even notice. For example, I know that I am hyper independent because I saw my mother do everything. She worked multiple jobs. She was the one picking us up from school, taking us to school, doing homework with us, being very hands-on, going grocery shopping. However, a man was in the home and she did 95% of everything that my child mind saw. I internalized that and became that independent woman. I can do it on my own. I got this. And then I became a single mother at 21 as well. So now everything is on me and I am thriving, going through it, but thriving on being able to do it all on my own. So that once I did get married, it was like, oh, you want to help me? I'm good. I got it, and low-key let certain things go under the radar where I should have had more help. But I was okay with not getting it because I was so ingrained to do it all. So I could never change that about myself had I not realized where that came from. Now that I know that that's ingrained in me, not only do I notice it, but I can more easily know how to tackle it because I know where it came from. There's a quote from R.D. Lang. My sister has quoted this to me so many times. She's a professor and she uses this quote all the time in class. So the quote says, "The range of what we think and do is limited by what we fail to notice. And because we fail to notice that we fail to notice, there is little we can do to change until we notice how failing to notice shapes our thoughts and deeds." I personally love this quote because it puts into perspective how we look at things or don't look at things subconsciously. There's so many things that are wrong with us or can be wrong with us that we don't even notice. And we fail to notice that we fail to notice, so nothing can be done about it. So when we really start to look at our whys, figuring out why we want to change, and then dive deeper to see what in the world happened to me that made me this way, now we're noticing. When we spend time making these lists and thinking about these things, now when we do these actions or something comes up and we're acting in that way, our mind says, whoa, wait a minute. This reminds me of my mama. This reminds me of my ex-boyfriend. This reminds me of my past relationship. This reminds me, you know what I'm saying? And now we have a better grasp on how to move forward. So, action step, let's get it. Y'all remember the paper that we got, 3 columns. The 3rd column that we left blank, let's tackle that. In this column, I want you to write the origin of that character flaw that you already wrote down. It could be childhood or relationship trauma. Like for me, I've seen my mom do it all, so I feel like I'm expected to do it all. Consider unpacking these things. I would say right here on this paper, of course, but also with God and in therapy. Therapy, as well as seeking God and praying and asking God to show me are ways that I've been able to uncover those and really get to the root of who I am and how I want to change and move forward in the future. Tip number 4, bridge the gap with action. So this is where we start to actually make some moves towards the change. We got our whys, we know why we want to change it, we know where it came from. Now let's talk about how we gonna actually change it. The answer to this is gonna be different for everybody because we all have different issues, right? So this is how do we get from point A to point B. Start to think about different daily actions and different routines that you can establish to really get you going on change. Just the fact that we notice these things now is already a path, an action step towards change, because we can stop in those moments and be like, I'm doing this subconsciously. Let me try to make another choice in this moment, even though it's hard for me, even though it goes against the grain and what is inside of me. For me, it's all about habits, routines, small daily changes that I can make that will really start to help me in that growth. For example, if you are trying to be more in your feminine energy, okay? So I'm not talking about looking feminine. We're talking about feminine energy, being more open, more trusting, more supportive, more nurturing. Character traits of a feminine woman versus being more angry, thinking negatively versus positively, being pessimistic versus optimistic, feeling like you're cool with having everything on your shoulders, that type of thing. For that type of example, I would suggest in this step that every morning you would write down what you're grateful for, starting your day off on a more positive note to combat that negativity and anger type of disposition. Or if you have a significant other or a husband or a boyfriend, waking up and deciding that today I'm going to allow him to help me with something instead of saying, hey, I got it. If he asks you something that you know you got control of, saying, all right, babe, sure, you can help me. These are big things for some people, and I get it, especially being the one that saw a mother do it all. Like, sometimes you're just like, nah, not only do I got it, but I probably gonna do it better than you. Or I'm gonna do it the way I want it to be done. If you do it, it ain't gonna be as good. We think this way, but we have to notice, number 1, and then make those action steps to make sure that we're going towards change and not towards digressing. Before we get to the last step, which I know y'all waiting for because it's a fun one, I gotta plug something real quick, baby. If you are serious about your reinvention journey, join my brand new YouTube membership. My YouTube membership is called Babes Reinvented. Here on my channel, obviously we talk about all these topics, but it's a little surface level. However, in the membership, we will get real conversations, real issues, being in the company of women who have some similar struggles. It will include some live videos with me, monthly exclusive videos that will be covering real and raw topics. Things like body image, healing past traumas, life expectations, self-worth, your personal aesthetic, just all types of stuff. I will be sharing my stories as well as helping you guys on your journey, since we kind of gonna be on a journey together. All you gotta do is press the join button on my channel and baby, you in there, okay? All right, now the housekeeping is out the way. Very excited about that venture though, sis, I'm super excited. Step number 5, start thinking about your rebrand, okay? This is the fun part. Sometimes it's not that easy and not that fun to go through the changing of the inside, sis. I get it. But the fun part is rebranding yourself on the outside, because the truth of the matter is it does matter, and it is a part of your reinvention journey. It's just more an outwardly expression of your inner change. For me, I started to surround myself with the vibes that eluded the energy of the new me. I do know that what's on the outside is imperative to human assumption. It just is. Now, yes, we don't care what we say all day. We don't care what people think, right? But truth of the matter is, it matters. And we can't get around that. We want to start thinking about the vibe that we want for ourselves to present to the world as we make this new change. Because you're never really going to get there. I said that before. Like, it's a journey. We're never really going to hit the nail on the head. I'm this new me. Here I am, world. I'm fly. I'm looking good. I've changed. I have standards. I'm standing on them. I ain't never failing. I'm all of the things, baby. I'm sorry. And the reason I say that is because it is a journey that consistently you will be changing, and it will need constant maintenance. I say this from my own personal experience. If you follow me and you've watched me grow and, you know, over the years, I feel like I started my journey years ago, but I'm still constantly changing, figuring things out about myself, learning new things about myself, tackling the bad things about myself, and trying to change them, which takes a while. The outside can give you an illusion that it has happened though. And that's what I like about rebranding. The action step for this one is to make a list or a vision board, if you are so inclined, of the physical aspects of the new you. If you want to make a vision board, Pinterest is the perfect place to go for this, we all know. But we're thinking wardrobe, we're thinking brand colors, you know, what is your vibe, what are your colors? We're thinking hair, makeup preferences, nail preferences, a signature scent, your home aesthetic. This is what we're tackling in this action step. Start to think about it. Then after this video, watch the rebranding video. If you're watching this video when it just came out, it ain't out yet, but give me a week. But if you're not watching this video immediately, make sure you check out the video as I tag it or a link in the description. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video, and I'll see you on the next one.